Bon après-midi, je suis Martin de Centre Kapwa. Vous êtes à l'écoute de Radio Kapwa sur les ondes de CKUT 93 FM, where all Filipinos are Filipino enough.
Magandang hapon, bon après-midi, good afternoon. You are listening to Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Fran Stoner here with my co-host Desiree Ruiz, and then we have our amazing sound team. We have Fenny and Laura. And you might not be hearing them today, but we do have some new folks on the team helping us organize. There's a lot of things that go on in the background, and we're just really, really grateful. So welcome to Eli and Martin, who's helping with guest coordination. So look out, community, you're going to be receiving some emails from Eli and Martin. But today, super excited, we are going to get to know one of our new guest coordinators a little bit better. So we are welcoming Martin Dufresne for our interview today, who is a French literature graduate, writer, and, they didn't put this on our little form, but apparently they're also a really good dancer. They don't like being outed about it, but, I'm still going to say it. Welcome, Martin. We're so happy to have you. Please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit more about you. Happy to have you and happy to have you on the team.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so I'm Martin. I'm 26. Oh my God, should I say that? Anyway, last year actually, I graduated in French literature at Université du Québec à Montréal. And on the side, I've been working part-time and also working on my art. So that's pretty much me.
So nice to meet you. And again, I'm just going to piggyback off of what Fran said. Welcome to the team. So happy to have you. I'm curious to know, how did you find Centre Kapwa?
So I found Centre Kapwa on social media. I'm pretty sure it was an Instagram story that I saw. And then I don't remember what event it was, but I was like, oh, what is this? And then I just looked through the whole thing, and then I started following a bunch of people, and ever since I've been following the work that you guys do.
And tell us a little bit more. Did you grow up in Montreal? I think you grew up in Quebec.
Oh my God, I grew up in the suburbs of Quebec City, which is I want to say 30, 40 minutes away from Quebec City, in a very, very white, small town. So, and I moved to Montreal 6 years ago now.
Right. Yeah. How was that growing up Filipino in Quebec City? I don't know if there are other Filipinos in the small town that you were in.
Not in the small town that I grew up in, but in Quebec City a bit more so. But I won't say when you're young, I think you don't think much of it, and as I got older, then I kind of started realizing, where do I fit in all of this? Is this actually a place where I'm allowed to grow as a Filipino Asian person? And I didn't think much of it not until high school, I want to say.
I'd love to know then what the impact was, first engaging with the Centre Kapwa community. If there's folks who are listening, who are hesitant, who kind of see our stuff online, but are like, ooh, I don't know. Because I think the reality is either some of us grew up with no representation at all, or some of us grew up in we always say this, we're not a monolith. So some of us grew up in pockets of Filipino culture that didn't really fit for us, right? Where we didn't see each other reflected, where we didn't see ourselves reflected in the way we want to engage in Filipino-ness, right? So what was kind of the impact for you of finding Centre Kapwa and then engaging with the community,
I want to say it's pretty intimidating at first, just seeing a bunch of people who I did know that I would have something in common with those people, that I would find some sense of connection if I got to talking to them. But I think that making that first step is definitely really scary at first, but I think you just have to like push through. Like I want to say that if you see something that calls to you and that you don't know in what way you should approach it, maybe you should just like engage in the way that feels the safest to you, even if it's just saying hi, leaving a like or a comment or sharing a post. Like I think there's so many different ways that you can engage with people or with community. And like there's no wrong way to do it. You just have to take that first step. But now I want to say that like I'm really happy that I engaged. Yeah, for now that's all.
Cool. Yeah, Martin, what's up? This is Finney. You mentioned taking the first step. I just want to know, was there like a specific catalyst or like event that made you actually want to take that first step? Or was it just like something that was just like always gradually building inside that made you want to like reach out to be involved in the Filipino community?
I think what happened is that in 2022, I want to say, Filipinos in Montreal organized an event at Parc du Pied Courant. And I went there with one of my friends. I was just curious to see, and like it was gonna be a good time. So I went there, and then I met someone there, like that became a friend, and like we got through talking, and like through mutual connections, like kind of like met other Filipino folks, and like I saw how they were involved in the community and like they were doing, and so I was like, oh, like that's nice. I didn't even know like that we had things like this, like ever or like in Montreal. So yeah, that was definitely like the first thing that I was like, oh, like there are spaces for us that are accessible and that are just like there. So we should do our best that we can to like promote them and share them and like yeah, I want to say that was the first time that I was like, oh, like maybe I should look more into that.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to shout out Filipinos of Montreal and any community organizers out there, specifically in our community, because I mean, every episode that we do, like whenever we ask this question or when we look at the red thread, it's like, it's because someone went to an event or they saw somebody online. And again, this importance of representation. And, Senator Gigi Osler at our Kapwa Rising conference had said, we have to see to be, right? So I think it's so important because Martin, you did bring up, thank you for naming like the intimidation, right? Regardless if you're born here, like I'm born here, but I'm not gonna lie, a few years, the older version of me, like maybe the 4 years ago version of me would see a Filipino event and wouldn't necessarily there would still be a level of intimidation and feeling of I don't belong here because I'm not in the Filipino community, right? So we all have this feeling of intimidation to be amongst each other, believe it or not, and I'm realizing that with all of the interviews and again the different experiences, the different ways of migration that we come from, we all have this feeling of I don't belong in our own community. So I just want to name that. So thank you, Martin, for opening up and naming that intimidation because it's real. It is really, really real. So whoever's listening, and if you feel intimidation, again, forget about coming to a Centre Kapwa, anything, but if you feel that, know that you're not alone, know that we're all feeling it, and take Martin's example, or Martin's bravery, where he was just like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go. And then also again, shouting out to all of the people that are creating the events, because like it's like pizza restaurants, like take whatever you're like, just lean into whatever you're interested in. And if you feel the intimidation, everyone there is feeling it to some degree, in some way. So thank you, Martin, for naming that. And for whoever's listening, again, know that you're not alone. We're all feeling it. And just get curious because you never know. It's maybe you'll go to one, I always say the people that come to our events, I'm like, you can come one Kappa walk and that's all you ever come to. But if you make one amazing connection or you feel for 1 hour, the 2 hours of Kappa walk that you belong and that you're seeing, you're being with our community, that's enough. That's like that's priceless in my opinion, so just lean into it and know you're not alone. So Martin, we ask our guests this question, and so because again, going back to that intimidation and this feeling that we don't belong, and this is actually an important one because we ask almost everybody. And like I mentioned, this is like unified across the board for most of us, regardless of your experience, regardless if you're born here, if you were born in the Philippines. And we all feel this feeling of not enoughness, not Filipino enough, not Filipino enough to come to an event or go to an event. So my question is, in what ways have you been told, or in what ways have you felt not Filipino enough?
So for me, my experience is that I was born in the Philippines, but then I was adopted when I was one. So I was raised around Quebec City and by a white family in a very white town in a white environment. And like I said, I didn't think much of it until I started growing older. And like it's kind of hard to describe because you do know that you're different, but at the same time you don't feel it, not when you're younger. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, I don't relate to these people. But also like the few other Asian people or people of color that I saw or that I connected with, like there was always like something missing. And so like I want to say that like you try finding ways of bridging that gap, not really knowing how to do so. And especially like I feel like now there's way more representation, way more resources, and way more like I feel like it's there, it's available. You have to know about it, of course. And that's why I mean that's kind of why we're doing this Centre Capwa. So like we're out there, we get the visibility and we reach out to community. But like when I grew up, I didn't have that. The fact is like you don't necessarily know where to look at first. Like there's no textbook guide of being like how to become a good Filipino or part of the Filipino community. And so like I want to say like it wasn't until I moved to Montreal that I connected to other Filipino folks, and then that I could be like, oh, there's a place, there's a space, there's tools, there's people. And yeah, so I want to say like my whole life I've never really felt fully Filipino, but like I want to say that I don't feel this way anymore. So
I'm so glad to hear that. That is so lovely and beautiful. And, I think that's also what we're trying to do at Sant Kapwa, right? Like our whole kind of tagline is like everyone's Filipino enough. Again, like we're 7,000 islands. We all have come here at different waves or different ways. But I also want to affirm that I feel like there isn't much organizing or structure specifically when it comes to Filipino adoptees. I'm a community organizer, I'm a mental health counselor, and I've seen how organized Korean adoptees are, Chinese adoptees are. Like they literally have groups and organizations and they do trips and they help people find their bio parents if they want. And it's like a whole structure. And I think it also speaks to how colonization has affected our community and has affected our access to resources and organizing, right? So thank you so much for sharing that, Martin, because that is one thing I would love to have at Sant Kapwa down the line. It's like, if you're this kind of Filipino, click here and like, we'll help you with whatever, right? We're going to be, during the conference on the anti-racism panel, we had Omilani Arlarcon, who's from Afro-Filipina. And same thing with her. We're having those conversations of like, hey, when you go on Sant Kapwa's website, maybe we should have a section that's like specifically Afro-Filipino. So if you're looking for those resources or looking for that information, you click here. Oh, you're a Filipino adoptee. Okay, you click here, to really show our beauty and our diversity, but also to make those connections, because I think it's really valid to be like, wait a minute, where do I even start? Right? So it's so nice to hear that that little Filipino belongingness wound is healing. And I think that's what we're all trying to do here, right? We all have that little wound. And for some of us, it's a big wound. So on the other end of that, we ask this to all of our interviewees. Martin, now that you've experienced a little bit, what does Kapwa mean to you?
I think to put it simply, Kapwa means to me find yourself and then find others. That's how I would put it.
That is so perfect and simple and sweet, and I love it. That is so wonderful. And I mean, I feel like that's a perfect way to end as well. Anyone else have any other burning questions or something to share with Marte or Marte? Any last words for potential Filipino adoptees that might be listening? I'd have to say I'm actually quite proud of Radyo Kapwa because we're only a little bit over a year old, and you're actually our second adoptee that we've interviewed, because we also interviewed OG Robinson, who's part Cree and Filipinx. So, taking up that space in terms of representation, what message would you like to send to maybe a shy Filipino adoptee that's like in their very white hometown, in their very white family? How do they kind of step out and find some people where they might see themselves reflected?
I would say that if you're listening, or not if, but like when it hits you, when you feel the pull to like, oh, like where do I belong, or where can I see myself, where can I find myself, where can I see other people like me? I would say just know that there's people out there, and I think that if you see someone or something that look interesting to you, that in some way, shape, or form, you don't know why, but you feel this really like inexplicable pull of gravity towards it, then there's probably a reason. So please keep going in that direction, and just take the steps. They don't have to be big. Just walk towards it, and take your time. It does take time to get to a place of just being able to recognize how you actually feel, or how you actually want to go through all of this. I think even I don't even know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So I want to say, like, just take your time, go with the flow. You'll meet people, you'll see places, new things, and that will put things into perspective, and you'll grow as you go. So just take your time. It's a very hard process, but I think in the end it's very, very rewarding, and it's worth it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Martin. And I think what you're actually speaking to, even if sometimes it's hard to find the words, is you have to trust your ancestral spirit and ancestral guidance, right? You kind of just feel pulled towards it because the reality is we have shared roots. So in many ways, we're going to feel attracted energetically towards each other. So I love that you trusted your spirit. I love that you just trusted some ancestral guidance. And I love that you are now a part of this community. And it would be so weird to not have you a part of it at this point now that you're in. So thank you so much to Martin Dufresne, who's a wonderful French literature graduate, writer, artist, fellow Kapwa, now our guest coordinator. Don't know what this community would be without him, and just really, really happy for that perspective. Merci pour votre écoute, tout le monde. This was Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. Salut!
Fantasize about you and I. Feels like I'm on a ride, like Aladdin, jasmine soaring through the night. It's hard to describe when you're stuck on my mind, but when the stars align, baby, I am just so story's a fable, and I'm very grateful, cause we're a fairy tale that's in the making. And our story might go up, down, out, or in, but the day you're out, we'll fall in love again. It'll never come to what we could have been, cause we're forever till the end. And I'm so stuck on how we were always destined to be. The two kids sitting in the tree, the lovers in the movies. And when I sit next to you, it's something straight out of a scene. Like when I look into your eyes, I see the moon's reflection when it gleams. I am just so in love when it's just us. It must be the stars above, making sure we are in love. We are in love. We're so in love. In love.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Marvin Reyes. I am a youth leader and community organizer here bringing you important news back home in the Philippines. The article is from The Inquirer with the title, Department of Education or DepEd suspends in-person classes on April 8. Public schools nationwide will implement distance learning on Monday due to the upcoming holidays, which would tighten the schedule among students and teachers to complete their respective requirements, the Department of Education or DepEd announced on Sunday. Michael Pawa, Undersecretary and spokesperson of the DepEd, told reporters that the public advisory was to allow students in all public schools to complete all their pending homework, projects, and all requirements. Likewise, teaching and non-teaching personnel in all public schools shall not be required to report to their stations, Pawa said in the advisory. Private schools, on the other hand, while they are not required to do what is told on the advisory, have the option if they want to do the same, he added. In the later messages, Pawa explained that this nothing has to do with the severe heat temperatures in the past days, which prompted several schools divisions in various regions to suspend classes. For the hot weather conditions, school heads can immediately suspend in-person classes, he said. That is why we don't do blanket suspension due to the heat, because there are different situations among 47,000 public schools across the country, Pawa added. He reiterated that this was the best time for students to use the ample amount of time they had to complete all their pending requirements. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. issued a proclamation last week declaring April 10 as a holiday in observance of the Feast of Ramadan. April 9 is Araw ng Kagitingan or Day of Valor, a public holiday. The Teachers Dignity Coalition or TDC, for its part, urged the DepEd ensure the adoption of the Department Order No. 37, which sets the guidelines on the implementation of class suspensions during calamities, with teachers not required to go to school. Benjo Basas, chair of TDC, said that they continue to receive reports among teachers on the ground that they will still required to come to school despite suspensions implemented due to heat. Basas hoped that this should not be allowed on the DepEd and should monitor all schools that is still made a requirement. The article was written by Dempsey Reyes and published on April 8, 2024. Thank you so much for listening. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. Once again, this is John Marvin Reyes, delivering you Philippine news from abroad.
Baby, I'm learning to love you less. You've said your goodbyes, but I haven't said mine yet. I laid down in the fire and watched it turn blue as the cinders fell in memories of you. But I'm okay now, I finally figured you out. My rosy eyes are tired, so I'll close them for now. And I'm on my way out to paradise. There's a world away that's waiting for me. Waves always break when you're on my mind. Now the absence of you sets me free. You leaving notes round the house, then you're gone. Said things like I'm out, I'll be late, don't wait up. I let you keep your distance, but I hated keeping mine. If you loved me, you would learn to compromise. But I'm okay now, I finally figured you out. My rosy eyes are tired, so close them for now, close them for now, and be on my way out to paradise. There's a world away that's waiting for me. Waves always break when you're on my mind. Now the absence of you sets me free, and I'm on my way out to paradise, to a world away that's waiting for me. Waves always break when you're on my mind. Now the absence of you sets me free. Now the absence of you sets me free. Oh, the absence of you sets me free. Nakatitig na lang sa tuwing dumadaan. Di kasi alam kung paano ko umpisahan ang usapan. Ang usapan. Naninigas na lalamig at nauutal sa tuwing ika'y nakikita ng malapitan. Sigurado ako'y talo. Ano ang aking gagawin? May lihim akong pagtingin, ngunit di ko masabi. Duwag na duwag ang sarili. Oh, malulumbay aking puso kung di rin mapapasayo. Oh, na pwedeng ang tangi kong hiling na ika'y mapasakin. Di ko nga alam kung anong meron sa iyo. Isang ngiti mo lang napapawi ang lungkot ko. Delikado, ba't ba ganito? Pero sa totoo lang, baliw na pala sa'yo handang isukal lahat ng meron ako. Kung pwede nga lang, dito ka na lang sa piling ko. Ano ang aking gagawin? May lihim akong pagtingin, ngunit di ko masabi. Duwag na duwag ang sarili. Malulumbay aking puso kung di rin mapapasayo na pwedeng gawin. Ang tangi kong hiling na ika'y mapasakin. Akin ka na lang, dito ka na lang. Huwag ka nang maghanap pa ng iba. O ay dito ako sa'yo. Huwag ka nang lumayo pa. Ano ang aking gagawin? May lihim akong patingin, ngunit di ko masabi. Duwag na duwag ang sarili. Malulumbay aking puso kung di rin mapapasayo. Nawa'y tingin ang tangi kong hiling. O ano ang aking gagawin? Ano ang aking gagawin? May lihim akong pagtingin, ngunit di ko masabi. Duwag ang sarili, ika'y mapasakin. Ika'y mapasakin. Ika'y mapasakin siya. Ika'y mapasakin. Aking aminin, may lihim akong pagtingin. it's just me. Oh, you wish you never hold you down. Oh, you playing with the windows down. Oh, you blasting when no one's around. That is just me. That is just me. Oh, yeah. Bet you want me as a lady. In the streets, got you acting like you're crazy. When you are with me, I got you wavy. When you are with me, I got you crazy. So just keep it on the low, but I keep it on your toes. Said you manly, but you fold. How you play like you've been wrong. Show me if you're about it, don't be all lazy. Oh, yeah. If you play right, then I just might be okay. Cause when you get home, oh, you feel the sense oh, you're thinking of, that it's just me, that it's just me. Oh, you wish you never hold you down. Oh, you play with the windows down. Oh, you blasting when no one's around. That it's just me, that it's just me. That it's just me you think about. That it's just me you can hold down. Wish you built off my body count. Wish I hit you when I'm in town. And I can't blame you if you're so obsessed. I got so many exes tryna text. I can't blame you if you wanna be next. Can't blame you if you want this. Can't blame you if I'm your shit. Not when you get home. Yeah, yeah, decisive. Oh, you're thinking of, that it's just me, that it's just me. Oh, you wish you never hold you down. Oh, you play with the windows down. Oh, you blasting when no one's around. That is just me, that is just me, that is just me.
Nauubos na ng matatnan at para bang naghihintay na lang mahanginan at mawala na ng tuluyan.
Nang dahil sa iyong mga kamay, unti-unti akong nabuhay. Iyong tinakpan, butas na gawa ng nakaraan.
Paano ko susuklian ang iyong kabutihan? Buong buhay ko ilalaan sa tangi kong daya. Kalasahan at pipiliin ka sa bawat tangi kong daya. Nagagawa ko ng ngumiti, ang bukas ay nakikita ko ng muli. Mga binhing itinanim mo sa dilim, umuusbong unti-unti, nawawala ang pighati.
Di ko hayaang manaig ang takot sa aking isip. Panatag ang puso dahil kasama ko ang tangi kong daya. Kalasahan dapat at pipiliin
matagal din naging hangal. Kung saan-saan hinanap ang pagmamahal, pero walang nagtatagal. Inuna ko sa bago sarili, pero wala rin nangyari. Nagtataka bakit bigla na lang siya nawala nang walang pasabi. Nawalan ako ng gana, di na naniwala na merong papag-asa. Pero kung kailan di mo inaakala, may isang darating na magbabalik ng linis. Sa mundo mong balot ng dilim, liwanag niya ang magsisilbing gabay patungo sa kanyang bisig at mananatili. Tangi kong daya,
wanna believe what you say, but I hate you on most days. You've been testing my faith and my patience, yeah. And you know that I be headstrong, but you know that you be dead wrong, telling me to relax when I'm reacting. But I'd rather fight and lose sleep at night. At least you're on mine. And if I have to choose my heart or you, I'm gonna lose, yeah. What if nothing ever will change? Oh, I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, I wish there was a right way. I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Do I even have a choice when I'm gonna have to pick my poison? How you hurt me so good, so good. And even when you cause tears, you're the one to wipe them away. Maybe that's the reason I stay. But I'd rather fight and lose sleep at night. At least you're on mine. And if I have to choose my heart or you, I'm gonna lose. What if nothing ever will change? Oh, I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, I wish there was a right way. I'm caught between your love and a hard place. What if nothing ever will change? I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, I wish there was a right way, yeah. I'm caught between your love and a hard place.
Bonjour, bonjour. Welcome back from the musical break. This is Feni Cristo behind the microphone, and if you're just joining us, you are listening to Radio Kapwa on 90.3 FM CKUT, where we play the hottest Filipinx music and highlight Filipinx people from the Filipinx diaspora every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. Word up, that's what it's about. And to catch you up to speed, in the first half to today's show, we interviewed Martin, who recently joined the Radio Kapwa team as our guest coordinator. We also had the return of John Marvin Reyes to his weekly news segment, and I'm happy to have him back. You know, for the past few weeks, I was filling in for him, and last episode, I kind of gave him a friendly warning that he needs to come back, because I was enjoying doing his news update a little too much. So, I think he heard that. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming, and that's the community announcements. Spring is here, and summer is right around the corner. So, the city is going to wake up from winter hibernation, and there'll be a lot to do. So, grab a pen and paper, or open your scheduling app, and as we like to say, mark your calendars. First off, this Friday, April 12th, from 6:30 p.m. at Lasterisk, which is at 1575 Atatican Street, Jeunesse Lambda is offering a contemporary dance and improvisation workshop facilitated and directed by Camille, pronouns he, him, suitable for all skill levels and body types. This event is called Movement and Connection, and it helps to connect to the present moment and to connect with others. For more info, you can visit their Instagram page at jeunesse.lambda. And the next day, April 13, also from Jeunesse Lambda, they'll be providing a haircut with Fred. You can get your haircut from Fred, who can cut and shave straight and curly hair. More info at their Facebook page and also their Instagram page. Fast forward a few days, April 16, Tuesday at Centre Phi, Involve Youth is inviting you to participate in the Cosmologie de Mutation d'Annie Baillargeon. It is inspired by the concept of somatech formulated by trans-feminist philosopher Paul B. Precious. Somaticism means, quote, a collection of postures, gestures, and looks that form a living catalog of possible, canonical, or abnormal bodies, end quote. For more info, you can visit their Instagram page at Jeunesse Engage Involve Youth. Now, a little further in the future, for upcoming events, April 17, Wednesdays, from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at 6767 Chemin de la Côte-Neige, Femme de Monde Côte-Neige is hosting an open house at their center to celebrate the launch of the spring program. Come with them, and you'll be able to register for activities and music provided with laughter. You can check out their Instagram page for more info at Femme de Monde CDN. The same day, April 17, Wednesday, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Refugee Center, which is at 2107 St. Catherine West, they'll be working alongside the Black Healing Center to create a series of workshops focusing on artistic expression in the hopes of promoting the different cultures present in our community. We invite talented BIPOC artists to showcase their own form of art. Join multidisciplinary artists and community organizer Allegra Hu as they guide us through the ancient art form of Chinese knot making. With the help of instructional zines, participants will have 8 different traditional Chinese knots to choose from. For more info, visit their Instagram page at the Refugee Center. Again, fast forward a few days from that, April 20, Saturday, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at 633 Avenue, Beaumont, which is brick par brick. They'll be presenting Rising From Our Roots, and it's hosting the BIPOC Queer Trans Market, back for a 3rd year in a row. Show solidarity with buying sustainable care-focused products such as prints, plant-based body care, ceramics, snacks, and much more. Donations will be collected on-site and will be distributed to mutual aid call-out posts in the community. Please come out with cash to spend to support our vendors and community work. For more info, visit their Instagram page at Rising From Our Roots. Also, Brick Par Brick's Instagram page, which is Brick Par Brick. Now, starting April 28, every Sunday at 5400 Westbury Avenue, Bail Her Way will be hosting women's runs with an event called Hoops Runs for Women, open to all women of all ages. For more info, you can visit their Instagram pages at ball.her.way and just.h. That's spelled JUSST.h. And 2 days from that, on April 30, Tuesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Phi Center, located at 407 St. Pierre Street, space number 1, the Phi Foundation for Contemporary Art presents a conversation with artists Sonia Boyce, Rajni Pereira, and Marigold Santos, hosted by Cheryl Sim, Managing Director and Curator at the Phi Foundation. During this event, the artists will discuss their respective exhibitions, Sonia Boyce, Feeling Her Way, and Rajni Pereira and Marigold Santos, Efflorescence/The Way We Wake, and the themes they share, which include collaboration, female identity, and diasporic experience. This conversation will be in English. For more info, you can visit their Instagrams at Fondation Phi and Phi Center. Now, from May 2, this year's festival Access Azi starts from May with opening cocktails by Komodo X Dragon with a performance of Amrita Dance Creations and Barbara K. Diabo, followed by a DJ set by Z.Nafal. For more info, you can visit their Instagram page at Festival Access Azi. And there you have it. Il y a beaucoup d'événements, and I think I'll be at a few of them. If you see me, don't be a stranger. Say hi. With that said, we are at the end of our show. It's been real. Signing out once again, this is Fanny Cristo, and you've been listening to Radio Kapwa on 90.3 FM CKUT, broadcasting through your speakers every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. Peace out, and catch y'all again next week.
Liberation for one is liberation for us all. Tuloy ang laban.